Hello, my name is Richard Hoehn. I'm a Ph.D. student in the Computational and Data Sciences department. My main research focuses on using reinforcement learning, which is a subset of machine learning, to optimize agricultural truck routes. In specific, in rural America, these agricultural truck routes require heavy loads, certain space constraints, and time constraints of how the drivers can drive. The complexity comes in that you need to take those factors into account and not just distance to find the optimal route. In normal route optimizations, if you have 10 stops, you might come up with a factorial of 10 or about 3.6 million options to solve your shortest route. However, when you take other factors into account in terms of weight, which costs fuel depending on how much you're delivering, the sheer computation becomes somewhat infeasible to get done in a short amount of time. So my methodologies are more to take reinforcement learning, which provides rewards to a reinforcement agent when it finds a solution. So you don't calculate the problems, you kind of build a digital world and let this agent almost like play games on how best to find an optimal solution to the routing problem. As an example, I've got figures from A through D. A is essentially 7 random stops with drop-offs and pickups. When I take my agent without any real training in figure B and let it execute the route, you can see that it's somewhat random and highly inefficient. But just after a few training runs or playing the game of finding an optimal solution, figure C starts to crystallize out that it gets better and better. And after many different training scenarios, which takes time on a good computer, you get a really good result where you can see that it has a circular motion, and more importantly, it put the pickup at the end, which is when you take on more weight. So you're carrying more weight, which will cost more fuel, which the system correctly figured out is the way to solve the problem. I'm pretty excited about this, and the future will only get more interesting. Thank you very much.